is Damon Stevens with FinWealth Builders, and today is Sunday, June 20th, Father's Day. So, for you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. And we're going to get into a preparation for this next week. Hopefully, everybody was safe and did well and profitable last week. We did put a couple warnings out that it could be a little volatile, and obviously, we saw that on Friday with the dip in the market. And so, as we get into this update, the thing is, what do you need for this next week? Is it diamond hands you need? Are we going to continue going down? We're going to talk about those things in the areas for crypto, for the futures, um, for all the small caps, for several other areas to hopefully get you prepped and ready to go. So pay attention and get your notepad and be ready for this week because it starts soon. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to our channel. It's FinWealth Live on YouTube, and we'll continue providing updates as well as these videos and stock picks that will hopefully give you an idea of what I'm looking for this week, what I'm trading, and how I'm trading them. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. These are my own opinions and my own trades. So play safe. So as you can see for this last week, we Dow Jones closed down 1.8%, 1.58%, which is quite a bit, right? Nasdaq was down 0.92, and S&P 500 down 1.31. Now it's not like an 8% drop. Could we see one? Expect that there could be one at some point because we've been so elevated for so long. But we haven't. I don't know if this is it yet or not. I mean, every time somebody says, "Hey, there's going to be a dip," or dropping down 10%. It dips down 2 or 3%, and then all of a sudden it rallies again to new highs. So are we in that same scenario? I don't know, but I'll tell you what I'm seeing from a chart and a price action movement. So on Friday, you see CAI came in on our top pick on the scanner. I did not trade this one, so we'll get into and show you more why. If you look at the heat map, it's pretty much red across the board. So pretty even across the board as far as what was selling. So a little bit of fears there with inflation. When the Fed spoke the first time, people seemed like they're pretty much at ease, but the second time, obviously there was a little bit of a scare, a little nervousness there that caused a little bit of a dip. It's not much. Good corrections. Corrections are good for the market a lot of times for at least your stocks. If you have a stock that's just flat and not moving at all in this little training lesson, and you're just like frustrated because you're like, gosh, this thing just never goes anywhere. I wish it would do something. Well, a lot of times it's just because the buyers and sellers are satisfied. Nobody's pushing one way or the other. So you need one of them either to drive it up to cause a reaction for sellers, or you got to drive it down. The buyers got to drive down the sellers to sell. The sellers get out, and that creates the volatility that creates the movement in the stock to move up or move down. But to just kind of break that cycle. And so, we're definitely seeing the volatility come back in. How long it'll last, I'm not sure, because usually summertime it does slow down a lot because people are on vacations, people are traveling. And so sometimes those volumes are low on the market. But we'll play it as it comes and see what we see here. Now, CAI, I said, I did not trade this one. You can see, if you didn't get this in pre-market, you can see this thing just jumped from 37.81 clear up to 55.80, and then just went flat all day long. So, I mean, if you weren't, a lot of the things I've seen in pre-market was where you could have made your money. During the day, it was pretty light. But there's some stocks that were on our list from prior days that continue to make us money. So ALF, you can see that it spiked up from $6 up to $7.34. Obviously, that was right off the get-go. A lot of times, if you miss those on the first, because they're scalps trades, obviously in the morning. But if you missed it, it was okay because it pulled back to 636, and then it kind of consolidated for a while, and then all of a sudden you got your nice little bump up here, and it went up to almost pretty much 850. So I mean, a nice run from a spike this morning. I'm keeping this on the list as well. I think there could be a possibility of another spike in here. After hours, it looks like it's dipping down a little bit, so we'll see what tomorrow brings. But it is above the 50 EMA and just right in between the 5, 10s and 20. So this might give us another bit of a bump here. We'll see. or APT, that continues to be on our list. You can see here that you had, it give you another run. This has been on our list a few times now, and continues to give us little bites, nuggets here. So, we're at 32.38, bumped up to 35. So that was a nice little bit run here in the morning to the late morning. Then it popped back down here, so it kind of consolidated and then it fell off a few points, and then all of a sudden started bumped up. So this is on my list again. I think could be another run in here, especially with the market. If the market continues to pull back, you want to look for the stocks that are still moving in the right direction, unless you're shorting the market. If you want to short the market, or put options on some stocks that are heavily elevated, you can do that. But if you're looking for something to buy, these are your opportunities here. So we want to keep looking for those. WANT, so that was another one that gave you a nice little, that's kind of gave you a spike several days ago, and it's kind of consolidated and came down. I was looking at, could this turn around possibly? Not sure. It's kind of low on my list here because of weakness and because it's under a lot of the moving averages. Just looking to see if there's some more news or something that could pop this back up one more time. So it'll be on my list just to see what, if we have a possibility here. As long as it stays above 217, I'll see if it pops up here. Otherwise, it's just coming off the list. Stocks under 10. It's going to be light this week. I took a lot of some of them off just because of the market and how it reacted. I didn't feel good about the trades anymore, so I took those off. And so the only thing that's on this list right now are the ones that I feel have the most like possibility of going up this week, especially if the market pulls back. So ALFI or ALF is one. It gave us a nice run on Friday. So $6 at 850. So that one's on my list. And OCGN, which has been on the list for a few weeks now, it's given us run after run after run. I'm looking for this to give us another run here. You can see that it did gap down about a week ago, almost down to 200, but it held this 200, which is what I like. And you can see that light volumes, right, but still above the 200. You can see here the last 3 days of trading, it's kind of just barely kind of peeking its head up over. I think this could possibly curve back up and give us some more trades. Right now it's been pretty flat, but this continues to give us runs, and so I'm wanting this to see if this will turn around here again, especially if it stays above the 200. If it breaks below the 200, it'll be off the table. Stocks 10 to 100. So if you look at this CCIV, this has been on our list again for a while as well, and continues to give us trades. It's pulled back here quite a bit, but you can see that it popped back up, from May clear up through June. It popped back up to $28 from 17. Then it pulled back again, retraced, about 50% of this move. It popped back up, was working its way up to a 50% retracement, and then kind of backed off again. But you got this big break, you got this little breakdown candle here and a big breakup candle here, and you're kind of right in the middle. So I want to see if it stays above the 20 and kind of curve back up. Maybe it goes to only 25.53 and pulls back up, or if it fails at support at 24.27, it could fall back here and go as low as back down to 17.38. But it's knowing that it came up and retraced 50% and pulled back up, that means the bulls came back in. I'm hoping that means there's some more run in here. So CCIV will be on the list at least this week to see what it can do. Skills. So Skills, again, has been on the list for a while now. You can see that the range is small, but the price of the stock's still kind of right. If I can get, 75 cents, $1 on it, would be ideal. It's only been given about 50 cents. So it makes it a little bit more risky. But I do want to watch this. I want to see if we can kind of break to new highs over this 1948 level. You can see that it had a nice spike. So that means the bulls came in and bought it up, and the bears pushed it right back down. So they're not ready to move quite yet. I do like, though, that it's curling up here. That's above all the moving averages here. So I think this is a possibility. So I'm going to be watching this one. AMD had a nice run up to 89. It's been back down to 72.50, and it ran up again this week to 84, 85. So we're getting some good runs here, right? So it did pull back and it kind of settled. It kind of indecision point right now around the 84 level. What I want to do is see if it can pop above this 85. If it breaks the 85.37, it's going to take a run for this breakdown candle for this 89.20. You can see this big long candle here. It came up as high as this little part of this breakdown candle here, but this breakdown candle, I think we could get a run up that one if we can stay bullish on this. So we'll see. We're above all the moving averages, so I have a good feeling that AMD may do another run here. If it doesn't, if you're to draw a line from its prior highs through here, is it going to stop? And I could do more analysis on this if it warrants it at some point. But if it can continue to rally up here and not fail, right? Then I think we could go to new highs here, especially if it busts through this resistance level right here. I think we got a nice run up to the highs again. But we'll take a look and see how the market does and how the week's going to react this week. Tomorrow could be a rally, could be flat, obviously, and it could dip again. If it dips again, and we'll talk about it here in a little bit. We'll talk about what those numbers are, and if it dips again, just be real careful. If not, this would be another buy the dip opportunity. That's what I'm looking for, but I'm looking for key levels to be broken as far as resistance to know to get back in. So, but 100, 250 stocks, just a couple here. Baidu, I like Baidu. It's showing some strength after hours. It's popping back up here. We're at this 186 level here from 182. So you see the market just rallied right at the end of the day. So the bulls came in and to suck this right up here, and there's a reason for that. Usually if you see a big run up like that, especially at this level with the bulls, there's a purpose. There's a number they're trying to reach out here, and what that number is, I don't know. We have resistance up here, 187.70. So I want to see us run up there and see if we can grab some of this here. So looking for a Baidu this week, actually Monday morning, because I liked how it spiked up here at the end, and I like that it's consolidated here on an upward trend. That looks really good. And again, a lot of stocks right now I know are the higher end stocks, a little more pricier, which for some people that's challenging. Don't worry about it. Be patient. Look for trades. I'm going to try to continue to update you with trades across the board, so there's a little bit for everybody. But some of the stocks I'm looking at are more expensive stocks for some people. So I know that's discouraging for somebody. So that's why I at least try to put a couple everywhere that I can but it's got to make sense. They've got to, look like they're good, viable trades. So Shopify is the other one. This one's had a big run. So here's two things on Shopify. It's that resistance right here where it was before back in February. So it's at the same level as where it stopped. You can see it pulled back. So that's caution because you got resistance here. We've had a big run. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, 7-day run here. You know what makes me nervous about this one? I think here's when 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a pullback. This could pull back, and it could pull back, somewhere between the 1300, 1380, maybe 1335 levels. A 50% retracement back here is a risk for this week. So just be careful that we could get a retracement back down to here. But if we can break and hold over 1500 this week, then we can start to climb again. But 1500 is going to be, the area to break. It's a round number, and we just stuck close right underneath it. So, that's what makes me cautious that this could pull back. So be ready to either short it or that we can have a little pullback and then a ramp up again. Or if the market just totally tanks, this thing could just fall. But I think, with the bullish momentum that we've seen here on this whole run here, really from 1,025 up to 1466. So in just about, 2 months, month and a half, it's a pretty good run. So we're due for a pullback, but if we break this 1500 level, I think we can go higher. So I do like this one for both a short or a long, depending on what gets tripped first. Bitcoin crypto is, boy, it's been getting hammered, but it's still, I mean, I had this zone mapped out here for the last few weeks, and you can see that Bitcoin just kind of sitting for the most part right in this little channel. So it's kind of stalled out here. It tried to break down here a little bit, down to 30,000. It got fully rejected, right? The bulls came back in, pushed it back up. But yeah, this whole range right here, we just got to watch it and see it break either, to the upside over this, 41,000 or to the downside of 30,000 to get some type of direction. Right now it's pretty boring unless you're scalping it, which I know there are people that are scalping it. They're shorting it and going long on it for that with the range that it's providing. So we'll see, but we are getting good support here, right on this 50 here. So that's good for at least trying to maintain the price and not having something fall through the floor, even though it's always a possibility. Ethereum, you can see that it's above the 200 moving average. It's kind of curled back down here. It's the same thing. It's having the same challenge with Bitcoin. It looked like it tried to rally on. You can see it try to rally here on Friday. Actually, this is today, so it's live. So it's actually today. So you can see that's pulling back up. But we're just kind of in this channel right above the 200. So we're gonna have to start to break up above at least the 100 moving average here, at 2470 to try to break back up here towards the highs. So you got support here at 2351. So we'll see what it can do, but again, it's struggling. Dogecoin's had a big pullback. You can see I had this line on here, this at 25 cents. So we pulled back and just like almost touched down in that area, but didn't stay. But again, we got a whole area here of support and resistance. It's kind of where we're at right now. See what Doge does this week and see if it can get some momentum going one way or the other. So the dollar, dollar just skyrocketing. Look at this thing. This shot right up here to 92. So are we going to get up here? If we get above, we're above the 200 now. So all the moving averages are curling up, which is very bullish. Are we going to break this 93.47, 93.43? I don't know. I mean, I think there's going to be resistance here. So we'll see if we can break that and start to go up here. If we continue to see that and plus the VIX spike up here, see this big breakup candle, volatilities can come in. That could cause the market to pull back further than we're at. And you see that the VIX actually broke above that 200 level. So that makes me nervous that we could have another, day or a few days of pullbacks and ahead. So just be careful with that. That's a big breakup candle. It continues on Monday. We're probably going to see some pullbacks on the market. If it can pull back and start to retrace at least 50% of this candle, start to move back down, then obviously that's going to be helpful for us to do a full recovery. So SPY, just a theory only. You seen that I had this mapped out before. So this is the wave theory, so Elliott wave, and you see this is the corrective wave, and you can see that we're following a corrective wave here. And here's my thoughts here. We could bounce right here. We're right at support, right above, where these, right above the 50 right here is where we're at. So we've come down here, but we gapped down, creating this new gap to fill right here, this G2C right here, and hit the 50 and got support, which is good. I mean, that's strong. Bullish. That means the bulls came in and supported it there. But here's the question. Do we stay above the 50 moving average and pop back up and kind of head back this way towards the highs and fill this gap? Or is the market going to decide to come down and fill this gap first, which is down here? And if it comes down and fills this gap, it's probably going to pop back up here, maybe try to fill this gap here, and then it could come down and try to fill this gap down here. Just a thought. Not sure which direction it's going to go. We could pop up here instead. This could just find support here at the 50 and just pop right back up. So it could just go back up this direction too. So Just got to see in the morning how the market is reacting, and then not forget about turnaround Tuesday, which could affect the market as well. But just looking at this price action to see if it comes back up and fills this gap, or if maybe it's going to come down and fill this gap. Just not sure yet. So watch the prices, watch the support levels. If it breaks above this candle here at 417, it's probably most likely gonna go up and at least try to fill this gap, or it could fake you out, but it's probably gonna try to fill that gap. If it falls below where it's at right now, the 114, 113, it's probably gonna try to fill this gap here, and hopefully it doesn't create more gaps. But if it does, it'll go fill them. Triple Qs is looking strong, pulling up here towards these new highs. So that's looking very bullish right now. So the semiconductor space a little bit weak. They pulled back here. Just something to be aware of. It's still above the 20 and the 50, the 100. So it's just down below here. So we'll just kind of watch this and see if this can consolidate for a while, be flat. A financial market pulled way back, so right down to the 20. So it's all in 20. As long as it doesn't break this level, to where it's going to head down to the 50, which is, would create some other challenges because I think it'd roll across the market. But financials are a little bit weak here, so just keep an eye on that too. And we had heavy volume on Friday, so just got to see if this is going to pull back here, or if it's going to find support here, or if we're going to start breaking down. So just got to keep an eye on that. Transports pulled back as well, down to the 20. As long as it holds that, we're good. You can see that, it respects the 20 here, 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 and now we're back again. So we'll see if it can pop back up and start to head north, or if it's going to stall out here. So just be careful out there. Not sure what the market's going to want to decide to do. All it takes is the news. So pay close attention to the news that's coming out. Pay close attention to the price and which way it's moving. And stay safe out there. And we'll continue bringing more ideas. And happy trading. Be careful, because volatility is your best friend and your worst enemy. And everybody have a great night.